Many organisations will receive cash or cheques which are later deposited into the bank as a single deposit. When you receive cash or cheques, these should be manually entered onto the system, recording to the cash and undeposited receipts account. We're going to look at two different scenarios. We're going to receive some donations, and all donations should be recorded under the donations menu. Rather than using an individual donation, which we could do, we're going to record a batch of donations, so multiple donations received. Select the option for multiple donations. Now click to add the item. We'll start by adding some cash donations received from unnamed donors, but as they qualify under the Gift Aid Small Donation Scheme, we'll add them to that donor record. Simply select and enter the amount. Instead of depositing it directly into the bank account, we're actually applying it to the cash and undeposited receipts account. So money is as yet to be banked. We'll confirm the fund and any other details, but when we're happy that that's correct, we'll save this item and add the next. You'll note as we're using the batch process, the date and the deposit to are maintained. And so in this case, if all the other details are remaining the same, it's just a case of entering in who the donor is and the donation amount, and then clicking save. Add the next, and we'll have this as the third and final one, and we'll have £10 recorded. So we now have a batch total of £42.50 deposited to the cash and undeposited receipts account. We'll submit this record. Now, in addition to cash for donations, what we might receive is cash for hall rental or any other items. Income that is not associated with donations is recorded under the income menu. And here we're going to use add receipt. If it were against an invoice, then obviously we'd receive it against an invoice payment. But we're going to use the add receipt. To identify the third party from whom the monies were received, then you would enter it in the from. If you're not worried about that detail, then simply confirm the deposit to account as being the cash and undeposited receipts. Then you can put a memo. It may be the name of the person who's given you the money. We'll add the item, and we'll say in this case it's for rent for the use of the charity centre, and we've received £25. We'll save it. That's all we're doing, and we'll now submit that record. So that receipt has been added, and if we look now at the cash and undeposited receipts account, we'll see that we've got a total of £67.50 sat in that account. We now want to bank that, and we can use the tools from the system to do so. From the bank menu, cash and undeposited receipts, we have a tool called Add Bank Deposit Batch. We make the selection. The system will look for transactions between your specified dates, in this case the 1st of November until the current day, and it asks which account we're going to deposit into, in this case the current account. We can add a reference on there, and then we make the selection of the transactions or the cash or cheques that are to be deposited. So in this case a total of £67.50, and when we submit, the system will create that transaction for £67.50 and also reconcile the cash and cheque transactions. So here we have the donation, the receipt and the bank transfer all reconciled against each other. When we then import our bank statement, then we'll have any matching item showing on our reconciliation. So in this case here we've got the paying in slip at £67.50, which is matching to the entry that we've made. From the control menu, batch jobs and batch run history, you can see that the bank deposit batch has been prepared. If for whatever reason you've made an error and would like to delete that batch, then you can delete it from there, and that will remove the record. If we now look back at our cash and undeposited receipts account, we're going to work from a different angle. And here, so at the moment we haven't got the bank deposit of £67.50. We're going to look at it this time from creating the transaction through the bank import. So here, in the bank import, we're going to process this £67.50 as a bank transfer, and the contra account is our cash and undeposited receipts account. And we'll submit that record. Now, if we finalize this bank import just to show you the process, if we now look at our cash and undeposited receipts and look at adding a bank deposit batch, what we'll see is the record has been created from that bank import. So what I now want to do is to match these items again in the batch, but this time there is no item to be created by the system because the items match against each other. So now I submit, and again it's the same process where the reconciliation history is matching with those transactions all reconciled against each other. Please feel free to contact us for further information on this and other features of Liberty Accounts.